What do the phrases personal brand and estate agents mean to you, Chris?
I think it's an essential part of estate agency personal brand. I think the faceless valuer that goes into a home can be very polite, very nice. It tells them nothing. It tells the homeowner nothing about the agency other than the competence of that agency.
Okay.
One of the things that I look for is character of a person to assess whether I even want to be in the same room as them and mind do business with them. And I think to do that you've really got to look at the personal brand and whether the estate agent knows he has a personal brand. He has. Everyone's got a personal brand, it's just a matter of how visible it is.
Now, you wrote an article about this a few months ago and you listed out 6 key attributes what made a good personal brand. So probably we could go through those on a step-by-step basis. So what's the first one then?
I think the first one is authentic. I think you have to be authentic. People can smell the bullshit from a mile off. It's important that you believe what you say and you put it over authentically.
Be true to yourself and don't bullshit them.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the second?
I think being original is help. I mean, not everyone can be original, but everyone has a different perspective on life. You might say one thing, and I've got a different take on it altogether. So I think some originality there is very, very useful.
Good stuff. A third one?
I think visibility. It's very hard to put yourself out there and be exposed. There's got to be some sort of humility in that aspect of it. Here I am with all my warts and failings.
I'm with you.
And it's something that Bobby Zing does. We mentioned Bobby before, but Bobby is more than happy to talk about a failed suicide attempt and nearly going bust and getting sacked from his job at KPMG.
People don't see that though. They just see the guy in the turban driving around in his drop-top BMW giving it large.
I'm not so sure. I think people do pick up
Or
these hints.
do they just pick up the bits that they want to see?
They pick up the hints, the tone of the voice, what you say as a person, and how you say it. People are always looking for clues to get the character of someone. You can't go through life without getting, some sort of hint. I mean, I've met you in half an hour, and my immediate thought is, Chris was gregarious. He likes a laugh and a joke. That's as far as I've got.
Yes.
But the more I get to know you, the more I'm picking up clues.
And we'll go for a glass of wine after this.
There's probably one in there coming out professionalism, but I haven't found it yet.
With a small p.
Yeah, but it's important to identify and create a label, if you like. I mean, people are always labeling everybody.
Yes, they are.
He's a right idiot.
Well, it's what humans do, isn't it?
Yeah. And the worst label that you can have is a estate agent. People react badly. There was a thing in social media this morning. 78% or 80% of people have had a bad experience with an estate agent. The only estate agent that I know that actually is proud of that fact and puts it on his car is Simon Burt, the estate agent. He drives around Solihull with, Simon Burt, the estate agent, on his car.
Okay.
I'm not sure it's a wise move, but the label that I would want to avoid would be estate agent. I want people to know me for all sorts of things. I mean, go back to Bobby. He's a Sikh, he's a father, he's a husband, he's a whole stack. He's a philanthropist. He's a whole stack of things, all of which I've picked up from his postings on YouTube and meeting the guy in person. He's a guy who doesn't really, care less about anybody's opinion.
He doesn't. I think that's a big thing. He doesn't care what anyone else thinks about him, and I know he's wound up an awful lot of people.
But he winds people up on purpose. That's his modus operandi.
Does that come back to his originality and his authenticity?
Comes back to his originality, You know, and he does it because social media actually approves of scandalous statements. It makes social media more.
Well, it's the village tittle tattle, isn't
That's
it?
right, yeah. If you're trying to prove that you're a nice human being, far much harder than trying to prove that you're an idiot.
But Bobby doesn't need to prove anything to estate agents.
No.
His job is to prove to the people of Birmingham that he is Mr. Birmingham Property.
That's right, yeah. But I mean, I think, you know.
I mean, you live in Birmingham. Have you seen his for sale boards grow over the last 2 or 3 years?
I've seen them grow. None of them say anything to me personally, but I mean, that's his choice. You know, I think you've got to be, I mean, one of the other qualities is engaging. You know, you've got to engage with your audience.
Is that number 4?
That's number 4. And Seth Godin mentioned it, you know, attention is the first thing, engagement is the second
Huge.
thing. So the engagement with your personal brand is everything. Now, the attention will come because of the exposure that he's got on every billboard and taxi and whatever in Birmingham. But the engagement comes from meeting him, or
Seeing his videos.
seeing his videos, or reading what he's got to say. That's where the engagement comes from. Once you're engaged, then it eventually gets through to trust and loyalty.
Well, that's a human trait that whenever you engage with something, the brain starts to trust it.
Yeah. But there's so many people on social media that don't engage or don't wish to engage with people. All they want to do is get attention. The more attention you get, the better they think.
But attention doesn't. It's like brand awareness.
That's right.
Brand awareness and attention, same thing. Don't get you the business.
That's right. Yeah.
So what's the 5th one?
I think instant recognition. I mean, we're talking about Bobby, who's got a very high profile.
Yes.
You know, instant recognition takes a long time to develop it. You can get it very quickly by saying outlandish things, but you can also get instant recognition by some of the philanthropic things that you do. I mean, Perry Power, who we both know, I mean, Perry came to my attention quite some time ago, simply because of the information he was putting out to the public, and
Well, he was giving, wasn't he?
yeah, that's right. Yeah, very generous, you know, and such a nice guy. And the recognition, you know, for me, not so much came from the information he was putting out, but Perry, when there was the was it the monsoon, or there was a tsunami in the Middle East or the Far East.
Okay.
Perry wanted to sort of you know, get some donations for that, and he agreed to match every donation. And that, you know, spoke volumes to me.
I tell you what, I've met him a couple of times. A young lad in his 30s. He's got a very wise head on him, on his shoulders.
Yeah,
That man's going far,
yeah, sure.
far.